keep it all working?
Well, every Monday, Derek and I have a business meeting. We sit at the round table.
So all the personal stuff is aside. It's strictly
aside.
business.
It's strictly business. And we have some hard talks sometimes. I mean, I have to put him on probation sometimes, and he has to put me on probation. So it just balances out, Like you said, the communication, it has to be there.
The views and opinions expressed by the participants on this show are not necessarily those of Stewart Information Services Corporation, Stewart Title, or Stewart Insurance. Before you make any investment, you should seek the advice of your investment advisor or attorney.
Whether you're a real estate broker, realtor, homeowner, buyer, or seller, everything matters when it comes to real estate. This is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Stewart Title's Bill Knapik and guests open the door to what really matters in owning, buying, and selling real estate. And now, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, brought to you by Stewart Insurance. Here to inform, entertain, and inspire, Bill Knapik.
Welcome to the show. It is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I am your host, Bill Knapik. Thank you all for joining us. Once again, I'll remind you to go to stewart.com/radio. That's right. You can see what's going on in the studio, and there's going to be a lot of stuff going on here today. You can also hear past shows. That's right, at stewart.com/radio. The show archives are right there. And today we're going to talk to real estate investors. We're also going to do something we've never done before. We'll be able to talk to someone in the flooring business, in commercial flooring. Never have done that. And, of course, real estate professionals abound right here on Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. And it's about time to get down to business as we welcome Nicole and Derek Williams. Their company is called Global REI. Hey, guys, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thanks for having us here.
Well, here you are. You're married,
Yes.
doing business together, investing in real estate. First of all, guys, let's tell people about your company. First of all, Derek, go ahead.
Well, we're a developer investment company. We develop land. We invest in homes from the ground up. We invest in buy and sell, rehab and sell, buy land, develop the land, build houses on it and sell those. Some of the things that most of the things that the land that we buy, we sell everything right now. Now it's time for the market to change, and now it's time to buy and hold when you're buying multiple family houses.
Well, that's a good word right there, buy and hold. That's a strategy that works in other categories of life as well, like the stock market, for example. It's a good time to hold, I think, but who knows. In the meantime, as far talking about the buying of land, we know in the last couple of years the market has expanded everywhere, north, south. And it seems like the rural areas, the land is going. But give us an idea, Derek, as far as land and buying the land, are you still buying right now, or are you just holding what you have in terms of land? And most of all, where are you finding the land? Because I hear there wasn't a lot. Maybe you know.
It's not a lot. Since we've been in it since about, I'd say since 2016, it's a lot of people who know that we're in the business also. So when they come across a deal, they call us. And lately, luckily, that's how we've been finding most of our deals, because the market is so saturated with wholesalers and other real estate developers and investors.
Well, that's a good thing that you have built that track record, and now you have the pipeline going. Nicole, let's tell people about your view on the business and some of the things that you're doing together that keeps it exciting.
So, again, Derek, he does most of the building, and my role in the business is to just kind of maintain all the financial parts of it, make sure all the bills and stuff are paid. And a lot of times I'm the one who create the marketing strategies and going into the fields and looking for lands and lots and creating relationships with a lot of different people so that they will know that that's exactly what we do. And I also get to do the fun part, staging it.
So far, you already the first part was the fun part to me, but now it's even more fun. You're staging.
Yes, I get to stage it.
Well, tell us about that.
Well, as you know, women, we like style, and we like to make sure that everything is up to date, modern. So that's where I come in at. I make sure that we have the nice look, because a lot of our stuff is custom built. So I make sure that we have the up-to-date modern style in our homes that we sell.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And I once again encourage people to go to the YouTube channel, which is stewart.com/radio, because you're stylized right here, wardrobe-wise.
Yes.
You are very bright. It's
That was
just
not
beautiful.
planned.
I mean, Derek, if you don't tune in, he's got a super green shirt on with just, I don't know what that emblem is, but it's shiny. Nicole's here with a beautiful yellow top. It's just very exciting. In fact, I have
Yes.
a little yellow right here.
Yeah.
Look at that. So in the meantime, as far let's talk about the build part. You find the land, and then do you do this one house at a time, or do you have several that go on at once? But let's talk about the building, because that has been a challenge, Derek, these past couple of years, and I guess even prior to all the challenges, building is not an easy thing anyway.
No, not in this market when most of the material had went up. But when you find a lot or land, you have to assess the land or the lot to see what's feasible, what will bring most money for you or more bang for your buck. Now in the neighborhoods, like in the gentrified neighborhoods right now, you cannot grow any more land. So you have to maximize the lot that you have. And once you maximize it, you can see if you can split it into 2, 3, or 4 different lots in order to get the more bang for your buck. And right now in the gentrified area, the prices of the land is going up. It's actually skyrocketing right now, and it's still going up in this market. When you find land in the rural areas, you have to find out if it is if you're using septic system.
There you go. It's always a consideration.
Yes, if you're using septic, or if you can tap into the city's sewer line, and make sure that you're able to get electrical and rainwater drain, wastewater drain. So once you evaluate those parts of it, you figure out, okay, what is best to go on this land and what's going on around it.
So let's say then, so you determine that a nice house, quote, nice house, whatever that is, 2,500 square feet, give or take, let's say that's the best thing for the land. Tell us a little bit about the building process in terms of, because I look, and I think others do as well, when we think of, we're looking out the window at big buildings, those are massive projects, but when we look at just a residential home, all the things that come into play, concrete, all the tradesmen and people that are involved in building a house, it's a big deal. So
It is.
Give us a little idea from your perspective, because you've been through that.
Yes, I've been doing it for, I want to say, since 1999. I've been building, and the tradesmen that I have is people who I've been using since then. And once you understand the order of building, it actually gets easier. Say, for instance, for some layman, if they're going in to try to build, sometimes they will go in and buy the wood before they put the foundation down or the underground plumbing. And a lot of times you have to understand how to get your plans together and get your permits with the city. In the city of Houston, they very strict on how you develop the land and how the underground plumbing will be ran, how the water will be run off your lot. So you have to understand those aspects of the building before you even get started.
So there you are. A lot of components have to come together, and we're not anywhere near the staging thing yet, right?
No.
But we're on our way.
We are on our way. We're nowhere near it.
Nicole, one of the things that I think is important, especially real estate professionals or any other professional that's in the sales and marketing business, as far as it sounds like, so you buy the land, Derek puts all this together, and then all of a sudden you have a house. You've already staged it.
Right.
Give us an idea of the components of the marketing once the product's ready, And then also, I'm going to assume, correct me if I'm wrong, you're marketing your company as well prior to all
Right.
the house even being ready, right?
Right. So it just depends. Like right now, we're in the process of building 12 luxury townhomes in the medical center.
I might
So-
want one now. There
Yeah.
you go. some 12.
Yeah.
All right, so tell us about that.
So before, like right now, since it's just Derek and I that are building those, we have to go a little bit at a time. So we have three right now that we've completed, and we have 9 additional lots available. So what we want to do is put those on the market and let everyone know that this is the product that we're building, but this is what is available. So you want to try to pre-sell those. So that's where I come in at it as well, getting those pre-sold. And also just listening to what the people are wanting out there. If they want black cabinets, put in black cabinets. If they want white cabinets, put in white cabinets. You just got to be abrupt to everything as to what the people are wanting. Because, again, this is not something that we're living in. This is something that we're building for other people.
And give us an idea that you're talking about luxury townhomes in the medical center. So you would think that's I would guess you did the thinking ahead and the vision ahead. That would be a sought-after area?
Yeah.
So you're anticipating, do you have any sold yet, or you're in that process?
We're in the process of selling right now.
What's the price point of these?
About $420.
So $420, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
There you go. There may be someone listening that wants one or maybe even 2.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, let's tell people your company website.
globalreal-estate.com. globalreal-estate.com.
There you go. So they can find out information about these townhomes.
Yes, they can find out information about those at globalreal-estate.com, or you can reach us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page called Global Real Estate Assistance. You can reach us there as well.
And before we close the segment, give us an idea just on this one project. I'm sure you're doing other things, but how long did it when are the units going to be ready to move in? If they are, maybe they are now, but when did you first start it in terms of buying the land? Give us an idea of the timeline of a project like this.
Well, we bought the land in 2019, and we kind of didn't know what we wanted to do with it. And we decided, well, we'll build 12 townhomes on it. And right now, there's 3 that are 90% completed, but they're staged. You got to go in and do little knickknacks here and there. And those are available. And then we have the other lots that are available for pre-sale. So you can get those right now.
That sounds great. We're talking with Nicole and Derek Williams. And guys, let's tell them the phone number in case they want more information about this project or anything else.
You can reach us at our office number is 281-746-3422. Either hit extension 1 or 2. That will get Derek or Nicole. Or you can reach us at 832-420-7515.
Sounds like you said 832-420-7515.
That's correct.
Guys, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having us
here.
In today's litigious society, it is imperative to have the proper insurance to offset the many risks facing your business, especially if you're a real estate broker. Your errors and omissions and cyber liability insurance can help limit the threat of these risks if you know what to look for. Not sure if your insurance addresses the risks facing your business? Contact Stewart Insurance to be confident your brokerage can withstand these risks. Stewart Insurance, 866-798-2827. StewartInsurance.com. That's StewartInsurance.com or call 866-798-2827.
It's time to talk floor coverings. That's right, commercial floor coverings, wherever you are right now. Now, if you're driving, do not look down. But if you're anywhere else, you look down. You are on a floor of some kind. And this is the first time we've had someone on the show that's in the floor covering business. Her name is Judine Deacle. She's the owner, founder of Texas Floor Covering. Judine, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Bill.
Well, one of the things about flooring is now you're doing commercial flooring, but let's tell people about your company and the many years that you have been working in developing Texas floor covering.
Well, we started it in 1989.
That's quite a while.
It is 33 years.
And successful.
Yes. We diversified our business right from the beginning. We work with architects, designers, developers, leasing agents, building management, hospitals. So that's what's kept us busy through COVID. We worked on a lot of medical when everything else was low. So so just by being diversified, I think is what has kept us around so long.
Well, one of the things I think that's interesting, first of all, like anything else, there are so many types of floors.
Yes.
We think about residential flooring, again, so many types, but the world of commercial flooring, that's all around us when
Yes.
we go to a venue. And I mean, you've done work at Minute Maid Park.
Yes.
Give us an idea of a large job or two in terms of square footage. When you think of a large job at your business, how many square feet is that large job? What range is that in?
Well, like the club level that we did was 60,000 square feet
Wow.
of LVP. We used to replace that floor just about every 3 years with carpet tiles, and we were, had the contract about every 3 years. And now that we put vinyl plank in there, I think we've, worked ourselves out because it just wears so well.
It does.
And it really does. It's just amazing floors.
Well, let's go back to get our head around 60,000 square feet. All right, so you're quoting a job of that nature. In this case, we'll take the 60,000 square feet. I'm sure there's a long process and so forth, but I'm trying to picture what that looks like. That's a lot of flooring. And how do, as the business owner providing the people that are doing the labor, you have to have the materials. Give us an idea of how you're doing such a big job.
Well, we've had most of our laborers forever, almost probably at least 25 years or so, and their sons are working for us, their nephews are working for us, so we've kept it quite a bit with the same installers, and it's very easy because we can send them to the same job. They know the facilities engineers, they know the management, they know everybody on the job site, so when we send them out to Suite 270, they know exactly how to get there. They know the building rules. They know where the freight elevator is, where they can park. So it's pretty easy now that we're so established. We don't have to go with every single installer and get them set up. We just here's the address, take off, and they know exactly what to do.
And then, of course, you have to order the product, right?
At Minute Maid, I get to help out with a lot of the selections there. Sometimes it'll go through an architect, and we've got to send submittals to them. So just the selection process sometimes. And here lately with building products, we have to sometimes give them a first and second choice because it's not always available.
Well, and as far as the actual putting it down, once you have the product, you get all that, and your past selection and so forth, it's how long does it take, roughly, I know it all depends, to put down 60,000 square feet of flooring?
Yeah.
I mean, does that
the
take a
recent
month?
job that we did, no, we had to do that in about 7 days.
What?
And we have
That's
to work
crazy.
behind painters as well, too. So we're working behind other trades. And, they usually only give you a time window when they're out of town, spring training or what have you. They usually give you a time window. And a lot of those projects don't get approved until, baseball season. So we can't do it, sometimes off season because they're not approved yet. So once they get approved, then we have to wait for them to go out of town. So we only have a small window to install those. The same with the Toyota basketball, same thing. When they're out of town, we do what we can do and in the time frame that we have.
That almost sounds like military precision to do anything that large in a 7-day period. And
Vinyl
that's
plank's very,
fascinating.
very easy to put down, and so is carpet tiles. And, so the commercial world is very, very easy. Unlike residential, there's, you have underneath the stairwell, you have behind closets, you have...
you have more wide open spaces.
Yeah,
it
you
sounds
have
like.
wide open
Okay.
spaces, and they're usually square rectangle rooms. It's not very difficult to do commercial.
Wow. All right. So that's a bigger job that we're talking about. Where are the what are the size jobs? Where do they start at in terms of square feet?
Square feet, we don't turn anything down, of course, with all of our customers. We'll do just repairs if they asked us to do it. So, it could be a $1,000 project up to a $1 million project. So it just, we're not going to be those type of people that say a job's
It's
too small for us.
Right. And you're doing this, I can't do the math, but it sounds like about 30 years, right?
Yes, a little
All
over
right.
30
And
years.
you started the company.
I did.
Now, as far as, and whoever's listening, whether they're a real estate professional or whatever they're doing in life, especially those that, like real estate professionals, they're in business for themselves. So there's no guarantee that they're going to be successful, and many are, But there's a lot of components that go into that. And some of that is luck, hard work, dedication. But let's go back to those early days when you first started. I mean, there had to be challenges to be able to grow the business from there. 30 years, you're doing something right to get these large jobs. Give us an idea and maybe a word of encouragement for someone out there to like to stick to it, or when you had challenges. What did you do?
You know, from day one, I made God the center of my foundation, and I really think that He provided a lot of doors, opened a lot of doors for us. You know, we try to do everything, you know, God-centered, and pray every day. I pray for my employees every day. I pray for, you know, my installers, pray for my customers. You know, that's probably the biggest foundation. And then, you know, treating everybody like they're your only customer. You know, I don't ever pick up the phone and say, well, I've got this and that and these appointments, and, you know, I stop
No one
what
wants
I'm
to
doing.
hear how busy we are, do they?
Because we're all busy.
Right.
So we have to treat them all like they're our one and only customer, and we're going to bend over backwards to do whatever they ask us to do.
And that's what successful realtors do as well. You have to, and one of the things, and I may have told you this before, but I cringe when I talk to someone, oh, I'm so busy. Listen, we're all busy. No one wants to hear how you want. What you just said, I think, is a core principle of success for those that are successful, to focus on the customer no matter, make them feel they're the only one, no matter how much stuff's going on. Right?
Yes, absolutely.
That sounds good. Well, we'll have to write a book then, Eugene, on that. But that is so important. But also, going back to the early days, there must have been a turning point. Maybe not, but tell me, or tell us, and that is, you're going down the road, you're having a business is successful, you had a challenge or two, but somewhere I'm guessing you turned a corner where it became really successful. Did that happen?
I think, you know, when I got the baseball account is when it really turned for me. Before that, I was doing mostly repairs and smaller jobs, and when I called on the Houston Sports Association back then.
You just knocked on the door?
Just knocked on the door and told them I wanted to do your repairs.
I'd like to do your floors.
And they let me start doing their repairs for years. And it doesn't, you really have to have good installers to do repairs. And you have to take the time to match the floors. And so we did their repairs for a year or two. And then one day, a man named Gary Keller asked me to do the club level.
So you were doing repairs before you ever put down new floors.
Yeah, I started out in repairs just because, you know, I really, it was very hard back then. You have to have a showroom in order to get accounts, or you paid CBD, cash before delivery. And you know, when they first asked me for that job, I told them, I said, you know, that club level, I just don't have the funds to do that. I have to pay CBD. I don't have a showroom yet. And the Houston Sports Association wrote me a check for $60,000 and let me do it. So after I did that, I was able to get our insurance, and, you know, because to get into any building in Houston, you have to have at least $1 million liability. I think it's $5 million now. Workman's comp. I have to have $100,000 on all of my cars and trucks. So it's quite a bit of insurance that we have to have
it's a big business.
Once I was able to get their account, that's whenever I started buying the insurance and then able to open up the doors for more commercial work.
Well, when I think about as you got your start in that big account by doing the repairs, like real estate professionals or people in other professions, to get that shot at something, you're helping people with maybe the smaller things.
Right.
It's not easy.
Yes.
It's not just like you walk up, if you're a realtor, and say, oh, yeah, here's a listing for my $10 million home.
Right.
It doesn't really
They
work
want you
like
to sell
that.
the $100,000 ones first.
At least a few, right? So give us an idea as far as flooring goes. First of all, a stroke of genius to pick the business, because we all need floors.
That's
I don't know
true.
if you've noticed, they're everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere. But, you know, like I said, that vinyl plank is just really going to put us all out of business because it just wears so well.
I have some at my house, and I
Do
have
you?
2 dogs, and they scratch the heck
Oh,
out of it, and it doesn't even show.
Okay, good.
Give us a quick word. Speaking of residential flooring, knowing what you know about flooring, you have been in a home for X amount of years, I don't know, and through the 30 years you've been in the business of flooring, you've probably had 1 or 2 homes. How do you look at residential flooring now that you know so much about flooring? You look at it in terms of wear and tear, or what?
Well, my first house, I remember putting, you know, I ripped everything out. Obviously, being in the flooring business, I can do that. So I ripped everything out and put engineered hardwood floors. And then we had a Rottweiler, And he was
a heavy dog with
he was
nails.
always scratching it. My daughter's throwing ball back and forth with him, and he's running across the room just scratching everything. So, this house I put down large format tile in natural stone, and we've had it in there for 18 years now, and it still looks pretty darn good. So
awesome. Well, before we close the segment, we're talking with Judine Deacle, the president, owner, founder, and all those things at Texas Floor Covering right here in Houston, serving the commercial world in a tremendous way, large and small jobs. Judine, what else should people know?
Our website is texasfloorcovering.com.
Sounds like you said, texasfloorcovering.com, and let's tell people the phone number.
713-862-2444.
Judine, thanks for being with us today.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
If you're a real estate professional, then listen closely. Cyber criminals are targeting our industry. They are impersonating real estate professionals, homebuyers, sellers, and title agents. Their goal is to gain access to your inboxes, computers, and clients so they can steal information and funds. Does your business insurance offset these risks? Not sure? Contact Stewart Insurance to determine if your business is properly insured. Visit stewartinsurance.com or call 866-798-2827. Visit stewartinsurance.com or call 866-798-2827.
As we continue, it's now time to talk to Deisha Bloom. She is with Wazell Properties right here in Houston, Texas. Deisha, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's good to see you. Now we get to talk to a real estate professional right here in Houston. Let's tell people about what you're doing and about Wazell Properties.
I'm an agent for Houston and surrounding areas. My main focus is in Katy and Cypress area, but I pretty much go where the money is. I've been with Wazell Properties going on a year, maybe. Love my broker. Love everybody there. She provides us with a lot of support, a lot of education, and just all around good people.
Well, one of the things I remember, the broker was on the show, and she not only covers Houston, but has offices, if I recall, in Austin and San Antonio as well. Your company does?
Yes. We have 7 offices and about 1,100 plus agents.
Wow.
Yes.
Talk about a company that has grown.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Well, let's tell people, and you mentioned you're in the Katy area primarily, but you move around. Sometimes the money even comes in the loop, right?
It does.
It moves all over.
And I will loop where the money is.
Well, let's tell people. I mean, we hear so much about Katy, and one of the first things when I think about it, just by default, is they talk about the school district. But give us an idea of what's going on in the marketplace in Katy, Texas.
Katy is a very sought-out area because of the school districts and because of the traffic going in and out through Highway 10. My kids love Katy area. I wouldn't go anywhere else except for maybe Cypress. But, yeah, Katy is very hot.
You and I have the same opinion, I think. Yeah, seriously.
The prices are good, nice homes, and it's just building so much. It's going further back than a lot of people know. Brookshire, Fulshire area. So Katy is just really, and it's kind of hard. It's a lot of us over there.
Well, and that's the thing. You're talking about the access because Interstate 10 and all our highways have their challenges in terms of traffic and things.
Yes.
But quite frankly, I will tell you, it is one of the most efficient, and I don't know what the right word would be, but it is a tremendous highway. I mean, it has access into the city, and you get the right times where there's not traffic. You can be from Katy right here to the radio station in 23 minutes. I've done that. And not only that, if you leave Houston, Texas, and go on I-10 and keep going, you're going to hit the Pacific Ocean eventually.
Yes.
It'll be a long drive, but you
A
will.
long drive, yes.
So let's tell people, Katy is tremendous. Right now, are you serving, Deisha, more buyers or more sellers in the marketplace right now?
Well, since I've been an agent, I've been servicing more buyers. Really was trying to get into the selling side. And then when I got into the selling side, now we're in a slump. So it's like, okay, what do I do now? So I'm kind of focusing on whichever one right now, but mostly buyers.
Well, that's one of the things about the market. As it moves around, it's crazy. We have to be nimble, and then you're around and get out your skills as you go along, right?
Yes, definitely.
As far as it's slower now. If you were to say, again, let's take Katy as an example. If someone wants to list their home in Katy, how would you advise them? Let's say it's a, quote, whatever a nice home is. It's clean, it looks good, and that sort of thing. We know the market was very swift. Homes were on the market maybe a day sometimes, even hours. But what's it like right now if someone's out there thinking, I might want to list my home in the Katy area, just for example?
Well, the Katy area is still moving, but it's not moving as fast as it was a few months ago. A lot of areas, depending on the schools, a lot of people are researching the good schools now. There's some new schools that are coming up where they only have 9th through 11th grade. So they're still kind of focusing on where they're going as far as the school district and how quickly they can get to the highway. Because a lot of people are going out to go into the oil and gas areas and medical district to see just how fast they can get there. But that's pretty much how it is right now in Katy.
So we're still going to sell our house. It'll just take a little bit longer.
Just a little bit longer.
And when you're helping buyers, give us an idea. I don't know, let's take the last 10 buyers that you've helped.
Okay.
In whatever length of time that was, how many of them were from outside of Texas, if any?
Outside of Texas, I would say maybe about 5 or 6.
50%?
Mm-hmm.
And where are they coming from? Just curious.
Up north.
Up north?
Yeah, they're getting away from the snow.
I like the snow, but okay, now when you say up north, that's a big territory.
Minnesota, Chicago, Detroit.
There you go. North.
Some California.
Yeah, now that is... Those are real cold places. Minnesota, because I came years ago from Chicago, believe it or not. I was there for, I don't know, about a year, many years ago. One thing about Chicago, back then, people were friendly, believe it or not. I got to Houston, people were friendly here too. So that was a great thing. It is cold there. Chicago.
Yes, it is.
So let's give us an idea. Here we are at the end of the year.
Okay.
As you look ahead, and I'm sure you're planning and you're thinking what's going to happen here. As you look ahead, what feeling are you getting in terms of trends for now till the end of the year, and then we're going to be ringing in 2023?
Well,
how's it feeling to you right now?
It's feeling like the sellers don't understand that they need to move with the market, and they can't get the high dollar they can get 6 months ago. They don't understand that.
Things change.
They do, and they're not moving with it. They're not changing with it at all.
So what do they say? I'm just not going to sell my house now?
They're not going to sell, or they're not going to change their price.
Now, I saw, this may be another thing they're doing. I saw it in my own neighborhood. I'm not quite in Katy, but almost. I see some leasing signs up. Right in my neighborhood, I've seen 2 leasing signs, and I'm thinking, I wonder if these are people that tried to sell their home. Or,
a lot of them.
Or want to, or they're saying, oh, well, I'll sell it in a year, but let me get some people.
A lot of them are.
How about that?
A lot of them are. And they're trying to keep up with the rising taxes because of the prices have gone up. So they're charging a lot more for the leases that they wouldn't have charged 6, 7, 8 months ago.
Fascinating. We're talking with Deisha Bloom with Wazell Properties. Deisha, you could be doing a lot of things in life. How is it that you chose real estate as your profession?
I like what I do. I like working with people. I like meeting different people and going in different areas. I've gone to a lot of different areas in this city that I have never been to, that I was a little sketchy about going to some of them. And a lot of them were kind of interesting, and just looking at the different diversity of homes. And in one neighborhood, you can get 8 different floor plans from one builder. So
that's true.
It's just interesting. And then going into the country also.
So when you say the country, what are you calling the country?
Alvin, Rosharon.
Okay. What about Waller? You do anything out in Waller?
Yes.
Because that also has a nice, I've looked at property there. I know this because that has a nice access as well, because you can go off of 10.
The 359 is that?
Go north and you're right there in Waller. And then, of course, San Antonio is not that far either.
I've been out there showing a home with a gentleman, and we toured about 4 lakes on one property. And
in Waller?
Yes, and mosquitoes were awful.
My goodness, you survived, though.
Yes, I did.
You know, believe it or not, I don't know, get on a different show here, but mosquitoes can be very harmful.
Yes.
I heard a story recently that just, But anyway, the mosquitoes, that could be a problem.
Yes.
But Waller, Texas, even Belleville. You ever go out there?
No, I haven't been to Belleville.
But Belleville's another hot spot out there. What about Fulshire?
I like Fulshire, but it's just so spread out. It's a lot of land out in Fulshire.
All right, you said at the beginning of this, you said that one of your other favorite spots is Cypress.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about Cypress.
Cypress is another good area that people are looking to move into. They have good schools out there as well. I came from Cypress and went to Spring and then back to Katy area. But Cypress is a good area also. And there's a lot of nice homes in Cypress.
Well, give us an idea in terms of availability. Let's say someone wants a home in Cypress, and let's say they have $400,000 to spend or more. What's the availability right now, roughly?
Cypress is a little tight.
For 400?
Yes.
I have to pull more money out?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. Let's say I have 600.
Definitely.
Am I going to get a selection? 600,000.
Your pool is getting bigger in 600.
Yeah, so Cypress has really gone up.
Mm-hmm. It has.
So I'm going to guess it's a little more expensive than Katy, maybe even, or not.
Some areas of Katy.
What's the price point in Katy right now? Can I get some for 400? That's nice.
Yes.
Okay.
You can. Mm-hmm.
Because that seems to be like a number, and of course now with interest rates going up, if someone has a loan, they're not being able to buy as much.
No.
How are you handling that when people tell you, "Oh man, the interest rates, maybe I ought to wait"? Now here you got the seller that they may want to wait. Then you got some buyers that want to wait.
Yeah, it's just give and take. Some of them, they realize what they could afford, they can't afford anymore because of the interest rates, and so they have to go down a little bit, and then that takes them into different neighborhoods that they wouldn't want to go into.
And one of the things I noticed about real estate professionals and other sales positions is that you have to be a counselor of sorts. You have to work with someone, right?
Yes.
Why are you laughing?
Especially married couples.
Married couples, what happens there? Now you got to get two people to agree.
Oh goodness, they can be so funny. It's sometimes a lot of people think it's the wife, but it's actually the husband that will pull out the search.
So
they can't take it.
Well, there's a lot of stress. There's a lot of emotions when we're talking about residential real estate. It's emotional.
Women handle it better.
And on that note, before we close this segment, what else do you want people to know, Deisha Bloom?
I am available for buyers and sellers. My phone number is 281-846-9946.
Again, the phone number is?
281-846-9946.
And thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me. I had a lot of fun.
In today's litigious society, it is imperative to have the proper insurance to offset the many risks facing your business, especially if you're a real estate broker. Your errors and omissions and cyber liability insurance can help limit the threat of these risks if you know what to look for. Not sure if your insurance addresses the risks facing your business? Contact Stewart Insurance to be confident your brokerage can withstand these risks. Stewart Insurance, 866-798-2827. StewartInsurance.com. That's StewartInsurance.com or call 866-798-2827.
Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title would not be possible without our partner, Stewart Insurance, with a focus in real estate and a special focus on real estate brokers. Stewart Insurance creates insurance plans to address the risks facing our industry today. They invest a significant amount of time helping real estate broker owners offset and manage their risks. Here he is, once again, John Bramlett with Stewart Insurance.
Hello, Bill. Nice to be with you.
There you are, man. Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
If I go more than a week without talking insurance, something just doesn't seem right. So you're here right at the right time.
Well, I'm glad. I would hate for you to get the hives or something because we haven't had an insurance conversation.
I could break out at any moment. But yes, you're here to save the day with insurance talk. People wait all over the city, even beyond.
Well, I'm glad that they are waiting, and I know this is the highlight of the show each week. This week, I'd like to talk a little bit about the types of business insurance plans that we can help build for our real estate broker clients, our property management clients, and our independent title and attorney agent clients.
That sounds like a good topic. Let's go.
So the first one that most everybody needs and likes to have is professional liability, or sometimes you'll hear it called errors and omissions. In a sense, it's malpractice insurance for a business. So it helps you cover the risk that you might encounter for the services you provide as a real estate professional. So if somebody feels like that you didn't operate in the most professional manner possible, then there could be a potential claim. The errors and omissions or professional liability plan would come into play there. The next one I wanted to talk about was general liability. And in that instance, the clients and other guests that you might have that would get injured potentially on your property or on property that you're representing.
Like an open house or something.
Like an open house, exactly. That could be an issue. If you wanted to add your business personal property to that plan, then we could build what's called a business owner's plan or business owner's policy that would allow both the general liability and the business commercial property to be part of that. We talked a little bit last week about the employment practice liability when we were discussing the directors and officers coverage. But in this case, it protects employers from allegations from employees. So if your employees feel like that potentially you've misled them or fired them for the wrong reason or didn't promote them for a specific reason, provides some coverage there. So as an employer, especially if you have a large workforce or group of employees or folks that you support, the employment practices liability can be a great coverage. We talk a lot here about cyber liability. It is the one, from a risk perspective, it's the area that's really growing the most and can potentially do the most damage. So it works with you on the costs that you might come about from a breach of data, whether that's data you store or data you have access to, and that's important. It can also include, if you're a firm that handles funds, it can include some wire fraud coverage as well. So that's an important thing to consider. It's one thing when you realize the data that you store, the data that you have access to as a real estate professional, but then if you add on top of that you're managing some funds or you handle some funds or you have some funds for a client, that's even a greater risk. If you do have employees and you want to make sure that they're protected in case they get injured on the job, then we can work with you on building a workers' compensation plan. We talked a little bit about that business commercial property that could be part of with their general liability as a BOP or business owner's plan. But that's, any property that you own at your business location, so we can coverage potential damage of that property. So if you're leasing a space and you own the desks and the chairs and the computers and the servers, and there's a flood in the building, or there's a fire, then that could help cover the cost of those materials. A couple of things that we don't talk a lot about but are really important, especially for the title and attorney agents, one is an escrow security bond, and it's really an innovative fidelity bond that we've created that helps cover for theft of funds by an employee or by a business partner. It's more real estate coverage than you would see in a fidelity bond. So it's really a unique product and can be really helpful, especially for the independent title and attorney agents. And then the surety bonds, that there are some states that require those. So in case a claim, it in a sense provides you a line of credit. So in case there's a complaint by a client to the state and they want to be put whole for some of the transactions that you've done, that in a sense line of credit can help with that. And then the last one that we write on a consistent basis is commercial auto. So, if your business owns autos, it can provide a business level liability. It also can provide some property damage coverage.
A lot of businesses own automobiles. First thing that came to mind is Amazon. Imagine how many vehicles they have. That's a whole other thing. They may be checking with you, John. But the other thing that I'm mindful of when you first started out is that all of us, or many of us, we'll just say, are in positions of responsibility. The real estate professional, they're responsible helping buyers and sellers with privileged information and those kinds of things. The other examples that you've given makes me think, and a reminder that we go through the motions of our job and helping and trying to do the best we can, but sometimes we forget the potential liability that's right there, or the responsibility that we have. We do so many transactions maybe as a realtor that we forget that just one of them goes awry, that could be a big deal.
Well, it is. And if you go back and think about insurance in its basic terms, it is how much risk you're willing to take on as an individual or as a business, and how much risk you would be willing to give to the insurance carrier. And once you understand that and that's accepting, then at least in our world, you're considered properly insured. But it's important to have an insurance advisor to have that conversation so that you truly do understand what those risks are and what the potential liability could be. And then you can make an informed decision, and it could end up being the most robust plan that's ever been built, and it could be a very conservative plan, but at least you have an idea of what's covered and what's not.
That's unbelievable. So many things to think about. They could see, and it makes me also think with Stewart Insurance at stewartinsurance.com, where people can go and see the complete menu. There are so many types of insurance that you're helping people with, whether it's just their home and auto or whether it's something related to the business or fleet of vehicles.
Well, it is. I mean, we, being part of the Stewart family, our goal is and always will be is to be the insurance resource for real estate. So if you're a business, we're going to be working with those businesses that are in and around real estate, like real estate brokers and property management firms, independent title and attorney agents. And then on the personal line side, so whether it be a family or an individual, many times we begin with their home plan, but that doesn't mean that that's all we can do. We can write a motorcycle plan, flood, wind, auto, vacation home. If you've got properties that you develop and you lease out, we can do the dwelling fire for you. We can do the renters for your tenants.
Or even investors that have their property and or building at various stages along the way.
There's some areas that we can help with that as well.
They start with the land, and then the structure goes up, and then I hear sometimes then the staging goes in.
Yeah, I think they do staging, yes. Sometimes in the medical center.
Exactly. So before we close the segment, John, what else should people know?
Well, if you'd like to be properly insured, whether that be for your individual insurance needs or your family's insurance needs or your real estate business's insurance needs, we would love to be able to work with you and have you part of our client family. And you can reach us at 866-798-2827. That's 866-798-2827. You can learn more about us at stewartinsurance.com. And you can email us at stewartinsurance@stewart.com.
And you know, John, it was just a few weeks ago. I, too, wanted to be properly insured. I called Raheem at Stewart Insurance.
And he took care of you.
He hooked me right up. Yeah, unbelievable.
Raheem is one of our advisors on the personal line side of the family, so he works with families and individuals every day, 24/7, to help them become properly insured.
Very knowledgeable.
He's a fantastic advisor.
The phone number again is?
866-798-2827.
You know, John, from time to time people ask me, how many listeners listen to the show? And it's really hard to pin that down because you never know, right?
That's
as
true.
As far as driving, there's certain data that we have. One of our BDOs did some research. She said we're up to 2 million now.
Well, I'll trust her.
We'll go with that.
We'll go with that, yes.
Thank you so much, John Bramlett.
Thank you, Bill. Always a pleasure.
And as we wind up the show, Nicole and Derek are back with Global REI. Hey, guys, welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, before we close the show, it's been great to have you here. Let's tell people, what else do you want them to know about your company or anything else?
Well, if you know anyone that possibly have any properties that they are looking to get rid of, we are your people to take those off of your hand.
So you're buying properties too?
We are.
What about land? You still in a
land?
So
property
land,
and land.
So you have an open. You'll consider either one of those things.
Yes.
There you go. This might be a good time to buy some land and property.
Yes, absolutely.
So they can reach you at. Let's tell them how to reach you.
281-746-3422, extension 1 or 2. Again, that's 281-746-3422, extension 1 or 2.
You did some marketing right there, Nicole. Look at that.
Thank you.
Right, Derek?
Yes, she did. Absolutely. I love it.
Well, let's give people an idea. A husband and wife team. In real estate, there's a lot of husband and wife teams, and in other professions as well. Give us a word of success, a key to success that you've been able to work together all these years together at your job, and then you have a family and all that. What is it? Is there a secret to that success, Derek? How do you make it all work?
Well, you have to communicate in the business. So when you communicate in the business, that means you have to communicate in your relationship also. So the communication is key, and I'm still learning more about communication myself. And
you're in training.
I'm in training. You have to stay a student because, the curriculum changes every now and then.
Courses do get upgraded.
Yes, it does.
Updated. Well, there you go. And what about you, Nicole? How do you keep it all working?
Well, every Monday, Derek and I have a business meeting. We sit at the round table.
So all the personal stuff is aside. Now it's strictly
aside.
business.
It's strictly business. And we have some hard talks sometimes. I mean, I have to put him on probation sometimes, and he has to put me on probation. So it just balances out, Like you said, the communication, it has to be there.
Super advice. Again, Nicole and Derek Williams with Global REI. Let's tell them how they can reach you guys.
281-746-3422, extension 1 or 2.
And thank you so much for being with us. And now she's
Thank
back.
you.
Judine Deacle with Texas Floor Covering right here in Houston, Texas, providing commercial flooring, small and large, all over the city. Judine, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Well, here we are. Before we close the segment, or the show, in fact, let's tell people anything else you want them to know about your company. What are you seeing in your crystal ball? Is the business going to be strong in the commercial world, or how are you seeing it?
I think Houston's going to do well. We always do. We always pull through Houston strong. So, everybody needs floors, like you said.
That's right. And if they look down, if you're driving, do not do this. If you look down, there is a floor right there. I will bet on that. Judine, let's tell people how they can reach your company for a commercial floor.
713-862-2444.
One more time.
713-862-2444.
Thank you so much, Judine, for being with us today. And now, Deisha Bloom is here with Wazell Properties. Deisha, as we wind things up, here we are, another fun-filled and informative show. What else do you want people to know?
I also help with investors. I love investors, actually. That's where I started at.
I love everybody, right? we both do, don't we?
Yes. That's where I started at, really, when I was working a full-time job, helping investors buy homes. So that's just me.
Well, it makes me think of Ringo Starr, the Beatles.
Yes.
Remember Ringo?
Mm-hmm.
One of his things, I don't know how old he is, but he's getting up there. It's peace and love. That's how he gets
and
by.
Happiness.
He's still promoting that all these years.
And happiness.
In real estate. So let's tell people how they can reach you, Deisha Bloom.
281-846-9946.
One more time.
Wazell Properties.
Wazell Properties. The phone number again is?
281-846-9946.
And thank you all for listening to Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I am your host, Bill Knapik, together with John Bramlett, Tom Carpentier, Larry Warren. We appreciate you listening to the show. And like I said at the very beginning, you can go to stewart.com/radio. That's stewart.com/radio. That's right. You can see what's going on here in the studio, the colorful outfits everyone has on. And you can go to past shows for the last couple years simply by going to stewart.com/radio. That's right. All the shows are archived there. They're informative, fun. Check us out. Tell others about the show, and we would be honored to be stewards of your real estate transaction. Just go to stewart.com. You can find a location near you, whether you're here in Houston, Texas, or somewhere else around the world, as we're an international company traded on the New York Stock Exchange as STC and have been in business, over 130 years, and we don't look a day over 90. Check us out, stewart.com/radio, and thank you all for listening. We'll see you next week.
When it comes to real estate, everything matters. Whether you're a broker, realtor, homeowner, buyer, or seller, for informative and entertaining information when it comes to owning, buying, and selling real estate, tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. to Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, brought to you by Stewart Insurance. If you're a real estate professional, then listen closely. Cyber criminals are targeting our industry. They are impersonating real estate professionals, homebuyers, sellers, and title agents. Their goal is to gain access to your inboxes, computers, and clients so they can steal information and funds. Does your business insurance offset these risks? Not sure? Contact Stewart Insurance to determine if your business is properly insured. Visit stewartinsurance.com or call 866-798-2827. Visit stewartinsurance.com or call 866-798-2827.